On this week's episode, we talk about a bad trade in the NHL, Tyreek Hill. We chat about the Raptors in the playoffs, and Team Canada is going to the World Cup.
Woo! Woo!
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 12, season 2, Points and Penalties. For all our listeners, we'd like to remind you to please subscribe wherever you're listening to podcasts. For our viewers on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe by clicking the little PMP button, bottom right-hand corner of this video. You got it. I know you can do it. Wherever you check out PMP, make sure you give us a like and follow. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff at Points Penalties. Once again, my name is Josh. With me are my co-hosts Kevin, Jesse, and Peter. Let's get this started, Kev. What are you drinking? Start us up with a fucking bang.
Well, guys.
You're looking good today, Kev, by the way.
Thanks, bro. I have imported 40. It is a U.S. ounces of 1.18 liters. Old English brand 800. Malt liquor at 8%. There it is so far here.
Fucking oldie. Kevin rocking with the 40.
Hang on, boys. I'm not done yet.
Yeah, that doesn't look quite right.
That boy, Kev.
Only problem, it says Lickbo on it instead of just straight up paper bag.
Just a bag.
It's good.
How's the old malt liquor?
It's awesome. It's good stuff. Bag keeps it cold, bro.
I don't think it does.
Cozy.
Pedro, what are you drinking there, bud?
Thanks, Kev. I went en français this week. I got a beer from La True du Diable, which I think means the devil's hole in Quebec. And the beer is called Les Quatre Surfeurs de Apocalypse. The Four Surfers of the Apocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Four surfers?
Surfers, yeah.
Not the Four Horsemen.
Nope. See this jig fucking wave? Damn, surfers. Why they're surfing the apocalypse? I don't know. Maybe you have to be
apocalypse. You might as well do what you want to do. Have some fun, right?
Maybe you got to be French to understand. I don't know. I just thought it was a cool looking can, so I bought it.
French fans, DM us. Let us know what's up with this.
It's a 6.5% IPA Blanche, and it's pretty good so far. And
So far.
I've hey, might be the bitch overall. We'll
He's
see.
not wrong.
Love you, Kev. But
I know,
so far, and there's been a lot so far because one of us was late, Jesse. It's been good. It's been good so far. So Jesse, Mr. Prompt, how was your
Senor Tardy?
Yeah, my tardiness was obviously heard here. I'm drinking local here. I'm going with Job Site. Going with the Indian Pale Ale Impact. And it's 6.9%. So it's here in Stratford, down the road from me. So I went and got it because I thought we were trying to do some local stuff. And Peter went French and
I went local in Quebec.
Are you in Quebec right now?
Kev went to the hood and
Exactly. Yeah. Kev went to the hood. So yeah, beats Peter's bitch beer. It is only a small boy though.
Oh, you bitch.
But I grabbed 3.
Made up for it.
See,
No,
I was a thinker. I was a thinker.
Still doesn't make up for it.
How so?
Just doesn't. There's no reason why.
Give me a reason why. That's
There's
how
no reason.
you win arguments here, bud.
It just doesn't. Just because.
Oh, it's just like, yeah, you're wrong kind of thing like that. That's your favorite argument, eh, bud?
Yeah, you're just wrong.
Yep.
Yosh, are you gonna be the big bitch of the day?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As I mentioned last week, I was bringing out a real heavy hitter this week. I have a quadruple IPA from Flying Monkeys. Quadruple. Flying Monkeys. Pretty. That's pretty local. Look more local than the other two guys. So I got Space Age Sunshine. It's got a fucking flying rabbit with a fucking lasers coming out of his eyes or lightning bolts and shit.
I want to see some lightning bolts out of your eyes today.
It is a whopping 11.6%.
Ooh.
It says it's orange creamsicle, so I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but I got a couple of them. They're going to go down just fine, whether I like them or not. So let's give us a whirl. That's fine. It's citrusy like I like, so it's perfect. I'm going to be really drunk.
All right.
Right.
Challenge City.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
I mean, that's what we said last week too.
I know.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. There has been a lot of stuff going on this offseason, and then you have NFL. Could be one of the craziest off seasons in the NFL, at least of our time, or at least we can remember. Jess, why don't you catch us up on a big move?
Yeah, so like you're talking about, it's been one of those craziest ones or off seasons ever. There was a tweet. I don't know if it was true or not, but this is like the most Pro Bowls moving from different teams in the last like decade and a bit. So this is huge year. I don't know where I saw that, but this is just adding to it. So Tyreek Hill was traded from the Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks.
That's a lot of picks.
Yeah, it's a lot of picks. So the first rounder this year, and it ended up being near the end of the draft, number 29. And then the second round pick of this year, which is number 50, and fourth round pick plus I guess it's two fourth round picks, and a fourth round pick this year, and a fourth round pick in 2023, and a sixth round pick in 2023. So a pretty big haul. He's a pretty good player, one of the fastest guys on the field at all times, and a huge deep threat. Now there's Tua as the QB right there. They did sign Teddy B, who does not have an arm or go deep either. So this is curious, but he's a playmaker, so they want to get the ball in his hands no matter what.
Yeah, he's just gonna run a bunch of slants, man. I mean, just run a slant.
Get the ball and go.
Get it exactly.
Yeah.
Get it
And
in
then
his hands, right?
Get your yak yards up.
Yeah, I get it, but those can be defended for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Like maybe Tua might actually get the training wheels off this time now, because he's been taking a lot of heat for not being very good, for being one of those top 5 players top 5 QBs that were drafted.
Yep.
Or top number ones, whatever. It was a top 5 pick. I know he was.
Challenge, the opposite of what you're saying. I'm not challenging. I'm just being a joke. Just making a joke.
If he wants to get a little bit more deep, why doesn't he start trying to throw with his actual dominant hand? I mean, maybe he might be able to throw the ball a little bit further.
I mean, but he's a lefty though.
No, he's a righty. He throws lefty because his dad made him throw lefty. He's a dominant right-handed person.
I understand
right?
that, but
he's also made it to the NFL using his left hand.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, see what you can do with your right hand.
no, man,
He probably has, and it's probably not as much.
Yeah.
That's when you see Teddy Bridgewater come onto the field, when you start doing that shit.
Yeah, like if you do that, like I understand what you're saying, but if you do that, like his whole drop back is different. It's different feet, right? Like so that because you would want to have your I guess you want to have your left foot forward if you're right-handed, right? But right now he has his right foot forward. So it's a completely different. That's tough. You're asking him a lot for a guy that's mediocre to begin with. You're asking a lot out of him to switch fucking hands.
Yeah, well, I think that's just one of Kev's things that he's just like
It's a 3-point line all over again.
Yeah.
It's a Kevism for sure. Why is their first round pick so bad? It must not be theirs. It must be someone else's first round pick.
Yeah, you're right. It must be someone else's but Miami had gotten a lot of, because they traded away a bunch of assets before and then gotten a lot, so they've been stockpiling for a long time. And then they got the rookie head coach now, right? Mike McDaniel. So we'll see how that goes, because he's a rookie. He has not coached in the NFL yet, or as a head coach in the NFL. So it'll be interesting to see that they're putting all these resources in there. But he's got tons of guys to throw to now. They signed a couple of running backs in Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
So like And then they also got Miles Gaskin there too. And then they got Gesicki as the tight end. Now he's not really a blocking. He doesn't block at all. He's just a catching tight end. But they still have Jalen Waddle, who had like the most catches for a rookie ever, which is so they got really good guys. And they also got they signed Cedric Wilson, who was from Dallas. So just another playmaker, but
Sure.
it's definitely going to be Waddle and Tyreek, obviously.
Sure.
And with him coming to the Dolphins, they sign him to be the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. So it ends up being a 4-year deal, $120 million extension with $72.2 million guaranteed. But it's only really a 3-year deal for the guaranteed money at 26.5 APY. So it's still a pretty good deal. It's really, really good deal for Tyreek, but we'll see how the Dolphins do with it. I'm sure they backloaded that thing, so I don't think his cap hit will be huge this year because they'll probably want to go get some more guys. But with all this going on in Miami, do you consider Miami Dolphins a contender in the AFC, and if not the AFC East, which obviously is Buffalo and the Patriots?
I mean, I don't consider them a threat to Buffalo. I mean, on paper, they look pretty good, or at least they look serviceable and better than they were last year. They were mediocre last year, right? A couple games under 500, I think, or maybe rated 500. Like they were right around that mark. Like they weren't super shit. They weren't super.
I think they were one game above 500.
Above 500. So like I said, right around the 500 mark.
They went on that huge run of a bunch of wins in a row after starting really, really poorly.
Right. So my guess is that they're still around the same finishing, around the 500 mark, a game, maybe 2 games above 500. You get some better players and you add a lot of talent there with Tyreek, but you do have that rookie head coach, which takes you down a notch, in my opinion. There's going to be a lot of things that he hasn't come across, and it might be tough for him to coach wise to run through that. So that's where I think in the AFC East. And then, I mean, maybe they could make a wild card, but again, it's a tough conference. There's a lot of good teams. I'm gonna say they missed the playoffs. That's my gut feeling on them.
I agree with you there, Yosh. I don't think Miami's going to do as much than they did last year. Mm-hmm. I mean, with him or not, I just don't, one person doesn't make a team.
Yeah, I mean, they added more than one, but you're right. A wide receiver does not factor in that much to wins and losses. They do, obviously. It's going to help. I think they'll get a bit better. I think I agree with Josh. So I think they're close, but they missed the playoffs.
And like they're fighting with the Patriots for second place in the division. Like I think it'll be close between those two teams. Maybe with the Patriots, a smidgen, a step above, a game or two, maybe higher. Probably just a game higher in that division. With obviously the lowly Jets at the bottom.
Well, Miami's always really had the Patriots number too. Even when they are garbage, they seem to squeak out a win. Like a couple of years ago, whenever they ran back that touchdown to stop them from getting home field advantage or something. That was huge. That was huge for Miami to play spoilers there, and they weren't good. That was when they were essentially tanking. So I was a big proponent last year. I thought Miami would make the playoffs. They obviously didn't. Patriots did pretty good at rebounding after not making the playoffs the year before. They haven't really done anything yet this year, the Patriots, though, in the offseason.
It's kind of typical, though. Like Bill
last year they
giant splashes, really.
Well, they made huge splashes last year, and it got them the playoff berth, right?
Prior to the season, though.
They signed Hunter Henry. They signed the other tight end. Like they went all like they were going to run the ball. They were going to
I do remember
short
the two tight
passes.
ends now.
There was a few guys. There was a couple of signings that were pretty. They spent a lot of money in free agency last year, and it worked out for them. So Bill's also got this confidence about him that he thinks he can do that too. So you really can't knock him on that. But I think, like, they let J.C. Jackson go. I think that was a mistake.
100%.
I think they just signed Malcolm Butler, so he's back there again after being benched when he was there before.
Yeah. Well,
So
he might make a catch, an interception in the Super Bowl. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but I think it makes them better. But it to me, like, I think I can see them finishing second in that AFC East.
The Dolphins, you think?
Yeah. Not beating the Bills, obviously, but beating the Patriots because they've had their number. In the AFC, I can't see them making the playoffs.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, like it's a rookie head coach, and that's another thing too. Is Bill Belichick just knows how to beat rookie anything, whether it be head coaches or rookie QBs or anything, right? So it's tough to say that. So it can be bold to say that they'll finish above the Patriots, but we'll see. They have a lot of weapons. They still have a really good defense over there. I don't know who their defensive coordinator is. I don't know who they have for that because Flores is gone.
I don't really care. It's
well,
Miami.
I get it. You don't care, but you still got to watch out too because you're a fan of Buffalo Bills, right? So.
Oh, hey, I'm paying attention. I just don't care who the defensive coordinator is.
Okay. So how does this hurt the Chiefs? Like, how far does it drop them, do you think?
Oh, I gotta know he's gonna throw it to Kelsey all the time. I mean, the guy's gonna be covered more than like just two people on him all the time. I mean, now who?
Definitely going to be a lot of double coverage this year.
Yeah, they just signed Juju, so it'll be neat to see how he is because he hasn't been good for the last couple of years. But he's also been playing with ravaged injury Ben Roethlisberger too. Yeah. So
I have a feeling that he's going to be Juju that is better than last, year and a half, 2 years. He might not be this superstar that we thought he was going to be when he first hit the field, or when he first broke out at least, but
yeah, they still have McCole Hardman. Yeah. So he's a quick guy too. So I don't see him as a huge threat though.
Didn't they add the Packers wide receiver though? Didn't they just?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, MVS. Yeah,
MVS. Yeah, that's more of that's a deep guy there. So
yeah, that might be replacing Tyreek because that's what he's going to be doing.
How's your beard, Kev?
Fucking right, bro. Shit's going down great.
Oh, sorry. I just looked down at his screen and there's the
if you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kev is put together today.
Damn right. Yo.
Ray Rice jersey on.
The home
bling
version.
bling ain't no thing.
Got the home jersey on right now.
Hat on tilt. Beer in a bag.
It's on and locked, bro.
Oh, buddy. Tats showing.
Piece of work.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I think this is going to hurt them a lot, but all these picks are going to help them. This is a deep wide receiver draft too, so I'm sure they'll grab one with one of their top picks and start over again. I think with Kelsey, because he's going to get doubled a lot now. It'll be interesting to see because there's not that other secondary threat there besides we think Juju, right? And he has not proven to be that consistent threat, but who knows? Maybe a good signing. And like Peter said, there's MVS, so I think they'll probably get a rookie wide receiver, but they won't be trusting him right away. I do not think. They still have CEH, so we'll see about that too if he can start playing better because he has not been as good. But I think it does affect them, and it especially in that division now, best division in football, it'll be very, very, it'll hurt them a lot, I think.
I don't know. I don't think it will because I still, even with this move, I still have the Chiefs exactly where I had them before this, which is winning that division, but still not being able to get past the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I think I got
That's where I see him again still.
I think I got the Chargers in it now, overtaking that.
Ooh,
I got the Colts.
They're not in
wrong
that
division. Challenge.
Colts.
No, you got the Colt 45.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's old E you got. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Wrong fucking malt liquor. My bad.
Are you
bad.
trying to say the Broncos? Are you thinking
Yeah.
of that kind of
Yeah.
horse?
Yeah. There. Yes. I was thinking of Broncos.
Again, man, that's a rookie head coach there too. So it's tough to gauge those guys, but
So
they can make big splashes.
for sure. Kev, I want to add where this really isn't part of this, but since you're talking about horses and Indy and the new quarterback, I want to know how you feel about their new quarterback and not having him, Matt be trying, as you like to affectionately call him. How do you feel about that trade and that, or not trade, but it was a trade, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a trade.
I don't like the fact that we got a backup quarterback than, having a somewhat decent quarterback. Then, the Colts has just got a decent quarterback. Now Atlanta picks up a mediocre one. I don't know. I didn't like it.
They're both mediocre in my books, but
Well, one's a starter and one's a backup. So
no, they're both starters now.
Well,
Both starters now. You know what? I don't mind Marcus Mariota. It's a completely different style of game. Like Mariota, he's a running type quarterback. Now he's a little bit older, obviously, and he hasn't played a whole lot of games. Pete, you probably you might have a little bit of an opinion on him, but I have never really had an issue with him. I don't think he can make all the plays that a quarterback needs to be able to make, but
I think it's time to make a switch. I'm telling you, it's time for me to make a switch.
But they did.
No, for me as a team. For me as a team.
They did make a switch. I think this is going to be good. I think for them, I think it's going to be a change of pace and a change of direction of the way their offense goes. And I think that maybe just a fresh start could be what they need. And Marcus Mariota isn't going to be the championship quarterback that everybody wants to see, but he's going to be a bridge to a potential young kid, and whether it be in this year's draft, next year's draft, whatever, he's a bridge kind of guy. And I think that the way that the league is going and the way that the quarterbacks come into the league, most of them can at least run a little bit. And so I think that the league is going a little bit more that way. And I think if you can start with getting your offense in that mode, then when they draft a top end QB, I feel like it's going to be better, easier transition with that young kid. That's just my opinion on the old Falcons and where they're going. I don't mind the move. I know you feel like you got shafted, right? You feel like you got a whole lot worse, but you got to take your lumps. And I feel like you're going to come back in the next couple of years and be a little bit better.
Well, I'm jumping off that bandwagon. I just might become a Raider fan from now on out.
Mariota just moved from there.
That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. He was a backup. He was a backup to Carr. So
I don't know, man. I think Atlanta this year is going to be one of the worst teams. Like I don't know who's going to be worse, Detroit or him. Like or maybe even the Jags. Like
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be really bad. I have no faith in Mariota at all. Like he cannot stay healthy. Yeah, I can see the Falcons drafting even a quarterback in this draft, which is not a good draft at all.
Do you know where their pick is? Is it above the Steelers? Kenny Pickett.
No, they're below the Steelers. Yeah.
If they were smart, I would wait till next year if they're going to be as bad as you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the defense isn't horrible though. They have a few good pieces on defense, but like Aluakon is a really good linebacker, and like there's a defensive back that's pretty solid there too. I just can't think of his name right now, but of course I'm basing that on fantasy, which that usually means he's pretty good in real life too. But anyway, didn't want to change subjects there, but I had to ask Kev about his lack of quarterback now.
No, that's fine. Like you could even they only got a third rounder too for him.
That's what I'm saying, boys. I might be like, it's might not be a might be. It's going to be a Raider fan this year.
All right.
I think I'm done with the
as long as here's
I'm done with the Dirty Birds.
Stipulation. You can keep fucking pondering until the very first preseason game. You have to make a choice prior to the Hall of Fame game kickoff. How about that?
I'm making it right now, bro.
Oh, you're changing up. Straight up.
Straight up.
Wow.
I think I'm just gonna go out and exchange my Atlanta Falcon cap for a Raider cap.
That's
I like
not
the
a
colors
thing.
anyways, man. Gray and black. Fucking
That's
right.
not a thing. You can't take your 4-year-old hat,
Why
18-year-old
not?
hat in and
Do whatever the hell I want.
Can I return this? It's defective. The team
Oh.
sucks.
I mean, I'll still hang it on my wall, but I'll never wear it anymore.
Just look at that jersey you gave him too, the Julio
No,
one. That did not age
that jersey
well.
will go on the wall too.
No, that was bad. That was bad.
But both of them, the Crumpler and Julio,
Well, Crumpler's different. Crumpler, like that,
that was my boy. It was my tight end.
He was
Yeah,
a
I guess it's
blocking tight
been.
end.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But like, so you got that jersey, and then did he leave the next year?
Yeah, bro.
All right, so
He
yeah,
went to
you got
Tennessee.
You got screwed there, but at least that one is
I
a
got
real.
screwed.
It's
And
a
then he
real
gave me-
China fake
Hey,
jersey.
so
then he
did
gave me that
Tennessee
other-
got screwed on that one too.
I mean,
went
at
to the
this point,
Patriots.
yeah, you
And then
might
he
as
went to
well
the
be a Titans
Patriots
fan now.
and
Kev.
whatever.
Oh,
and then
whoa,
Julio
whoa, whoa.
Jones. And they
Nobody
give me
wants to be a
Julio
Titans
Jones
fan.
shirt.
Hey,
And then
no.
Julio Jones goes where? To the fucking Titans. Maybe I should become a fucking Titans fan. now.
that's what I just said.
Oh my god. No,
man.
Raiders. Raiders.
Yeah.
It fits my personality.
That's true.
Alrighty. So, like we all think, a lot of us think that they won't make the playoffs in the AFC. So, I don't think we don't need to continue on with that question. So, Pete, why don't you tell us about some other superstars?
Oh, I can do that. And it's on the field still, but it's a different field, different game. We are talking about qualifying for the World Cup in soccer. And getting to the World Cup, it's going to be a little bit easier once you get there, because the reigning European champ, Italy, has failed to qualify.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
So, in very similar fashion to your Toronto Maple Leafs against the Habs last night,
Yeah. Fuck.
Wah,
Wah, wah, wah.
the Italians dominated shots and possession against North Macedonia. They managed 32 shot attempts. That's a huge number for a soccer game, by the way. Football.
That is crazy.
5 of them only on goal, though. And 65% share of possession, but could not get on the board. Then, in the 92nd minute, in stoppage time, disaster struck. Off a harmless-looking goal kick, North Macedonia forward Alexander Trechovsky channeled his inner Alexander the Great and shocked the world from Macedonia, by the way, if you didn't know. Shocked the world with a goal on North Macedonia's second shot on goal of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Second shot, 92nd minute.
Yeah, and it went in. So Italy will miss the World Cup for the second time in a row, despite being the Euro winners less than a year ago. And it's not easy to win the Euro.
Nope.
Evidently, it's
in the
not
World
easy
Cup.
getting out of the group stages in the World Cup or the qualifying.
Yeah, it got a little bit easier for sure. I'd much rather play North Macedonia than Italy if I had the choice.
Did North Macedonia make it though? Or they just played upset. I think they might have just played
spoiler?
upset. Yeah, man. How that fun? No, the North Macedonia didn't make it. Come on.
I don't know. I think it was. I don't know if they made it yet, but I
Ooh,
think
I
it was
smell a
part of a
challenge
playoff
here.
tournament.
Well, it's not over yet, right? They still,
Yeah.
like every group or whatever still has a game or two left. So
I don't know.
should have looked that up.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You know, I'm gonna say that they are not in the World Cup, and if you'd like to challenge,
You know what? I am going to challenge you. And I'm going to say North Macedonia is in the World Cup, or just haven't. They're not out of the World Cup. Put it that way.
Oh,
It's,
Here we go.
it's either
Conditional.
it's either
conditional. No, you know what? I'll take the conditional. I'll take. Wait, no way. That means I take a minus
Minus,
if they
yeah.
if they aren't out yet. If they aren't out yet, we'll just call it a draw. How
We'll
about
call it
that?
a draw.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a
I
first
don't know.
draw
I think we could have
First
both have a
draw
minus
ever.
one here for both these
Conditional,
guys.
conditional challenges.
Nobody's asking details yet, right?
Hey, the contract
Hey,
is
man,
between Peter
I'm
and
a
I
judge
here.
It's okay. We'll go to Kev.
Okay?
He'll
Good across the board.
He'll be the
Good
voice of
across-
reason.
That's right. I'll take this paper bag, boys, and I don't know what to do with it.
There you go. So while someone looks that up, we'll talk about another loss that's affecting, not really, the team making the World Cup. Canada opened up its final leg of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying in Costa Rica on Thursday, needing only a tie to officially qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. Superstar Alfonso Davies remained sidelined due to injury for this leg. And in the game against Costa Rica, Mark Anthony Kaye was shown a red card on his second yellow of the match after knocking down Johan Venegas on a play away from the ball. Now, a lot of people had issue with this card, as the video replay clearly showed that Venegas had an Oscar-worthy dive, selling the call big time.
That's why I don't like soccer.
I mean,
Pretty bad.
I don't know if it was Oscar worthy. Like what I thought happened is a fucking sniper shot him.
That's what it looks like every single time someone touches you.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I understand you can't put your shoulder into a guy like that, but the flip is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's real bad. Now, apart from the fucking brutal dive, I think Kay's got to be smarter than that. When you've got a yellow already, even though buddy flopped like a fish when you touched him, you can't touch him there. When you've already got that yellow, you cannot touch him there.
I mean, speaking on his previous yellow, like that could have been a red card.
Yeah.
They were talking about it being a red card, or the possibility of, and they kind of, I don't know whether the ref was, because the ref made the decision, right? He's like, no, like the guy on the field, I don't know who the typical, I don't know if there's guys in the booth that make the decision or if it is the guy on the field for soccer. Because we know in most of our other North American sports, it's either or will make that call, right? They'll say, no, that was 100% in the net or whatever. But so who knows who made that call, but it kind of, to me, was like, it's so early in this game. How can I give this guy a red card for something that was borderline, but it could have been a red card. So
Could have been, yeah.
You're right, Pete. He needs to know better when he's already on edge. It's like you've got your fifth foul in the NBA and you're like, you want more and you're fucking done. Right. So you got to be careful. So,
but at least in the NBA, when you foul out, they can substitute somebody in for you.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So in soccer, obviously, you cannot. So Canada played the entire rest of the game with only 10 men.
And played well.
They still managed to end the game with 62% possession, 14 shot attempts, only 2 on goal. But that includes at least one post or one crossbar that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So they were right there. I can't believe they couldn't get one in. Now just back to the dive for a moment. What I think they should do, because Kev, exactly what you said is the opinion of a lot of people. You said that as long as the diving like that exists in soccer, you're never going to watch it. You're never going to be a fan.
Yep.
And that opinion is shared by a lot of people, especially in North America.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the dives like that should be reviewed after the game. They don't have to be reviewed during the game, but after the game, there should be a committee that reviews plays like that and either fines or suspends players that are clearly diving. And hopefully that'll encourage that to stop and get out of the game. And it can help to make it more watchable and help grow the game in North America.
I agree. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do understand what Yoshi's saying too, though, man. There were like cleats to your shin, cleats to the back of your ankle or on
That's
your ankle.
a little different, though. Right?
It hurts. I mean, it does hurt. I mean, you're taking cleats off, like, but there's no need for a roll around 8 times to say, "Oh, I hurt my ankle."
I mean, that one actually, like when I saw it in slow motion, looked like it actually really hurt him. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "What does this guy do?"
The first one, is that what I mean? What you
Yeah,
mean?
that's the one I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
the first one's fine. That's like it should have been a yellow or a red, no problem. It's the second one where Buddy gets a
It's
little
just a little
fucking
shoulder.
a
yeah.
little
Yeah.
cold shoulder, and he fucking, like Josh said, looks like someone fucking was in the stands with a fucking
Sniper rifle.
sniper rifle and took him out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, though, guys, I mean, like I like what you said there, Pedro. If they're gonna do something about it, do it after the game and say, hey man, you got 2 or 3 games for being an idiot, or you got a fine for being an idiot. I mean, and then you will honestly see a lot of this shit stop.
Yeah, you do it again, you get fucking triple the fine.
Right. Or
and you can just start with the first one, is one game, right? One red card for the next, you can't play the next game. And then just every time you do it, it's another red card. So, and like I said, maybe you could add to it. Maybe you could make it compounding, right? So second time, 2 games, third time, 3 games. And then you can even bump it up even more. And that'll 100%, especially in national games, stop that shit. Because nobody wants to get a double, get a yellow the next game and then be red carded for the following. I'm not sure if in international tournament play, if you get a red card, if you automatically miss the next game. In league play, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So
I think it is in international too.
Yeah. So K is done for our next, although the game doesn't matter. We have one more game in the qualifying. He's done for that game.
No, because we had a game today, which I'm about to get to. I don't think he played.
Oh, right. Sorry, you're right. You're right. 100%. He probably would not have played today. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, 100%. You're right.
Yeah.
But if missing games, especially international caps, that will stop that bullshit quickly. Yeah. League games, maybe not. If a guy's a douchebag, if a guy's a Sean Avery, it's going to continue. But
or that Hannibal Lecter guy, the guy who keeps on biting people.
Suarez, right?
I don't know
his name.
Yeah, I just know he grabbed somebody's arm and fucking pulled it up and bit him, and
yeah. All right, now I see we have an update to the challenge. What's the verdict?
Oh, the verdict is that I'm awesome and you're not. Okay, where was I here? So I found a website that just said all the teams that have qualified so far. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that they are out, but it does give you a point. So somebody will have to look this up. But
so I was looking at it as well, and I see that they got to play Portugal on Tuesday as well too.
Okay, so so right now I think it's
they're not qualified yet.
Not qualified yet.
Right, but I think they're in a playoff. So I think
yes.
So
they are in a playoffs right now. Yeah.
So they're in a spot. So I think we're at a wash there.
We're at a draw. Yeah.
But we still that doesn't take away the minus for the challenges. You gotta get a scoring challenge. Everybody can still get a -1 here.
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Okay, back to it. So Canada,
the weakest wash ever. You both were wrong. Technically, you're both wrong.
Either one of us could still be right.
I mean, I was right. I said that they haven't qualified. And they haven't qualified.
That's true.
But they might.
But they might.
Anyway, moving on.
It's opinionated.
Moving on.
This challenge is carrying on to what happens then. If they make it, they do. Then you get the point. But if they don't,
no, it doesn't carry on. It's right now.
God damn it! Then it's a wash.
Okay. So despite dominating Costa Rica, even though they had only 10 players most of the game, they could not get the victory, and they lost 1-0 for their first loss of this qualifier. And I'm pretty sure on the one goal that was scored against them, it was Kay's man that put it in. So it was a direct result of that red card, or double yellow, I guess, that led to that goal and that loss.
Even leading up to that goal too, like there was a couple ticky-tacky calls right before that. They were just like giving Costa Rica the space, and they just were like, oh, free kick here. And then don't get me wrong, the goal was amazing. It was a great cross, great header. But yeah, it was definitely a home field advantage for given the ref.
Yeah, because I think shortly before the goal, either it was the free kick leading right to the goal, or there might have been a corner after, whatever. But it was a handball call on Canada, and there was a almost identical play that happened later in the game, but vice versa. It was a handball on a Costa Rican player. It was an inadvertent handball, it looked like, but exactly what was called on Canada before that led to the goal, and wasn't called. So you're right, it was fucking bullshit. But
Bullshit.
Say Levy, they got their first loss, and that led us back home to BMO Field in Toronto today to play Jamaica again, needing only a tie to qualify for Qatar. And BMO Field was feeling it, as Canada's Kyle Larin scored early with his 13th of the qualifier, just 13 minutes into the game. The goal was Larin's 23rd all-time playing for Canada, and he becomes Canada's all-time goal leader, passing Dwayne De Rosario.
D-roll.
And is only 2 goals behind the all-time record for goals in a single CONCACAF qualifier across all CONCACAF countries. Carlos Pavon of Honduras holds that record from 2000-2001 with 15 goals. So Larin will need 2 against Panama on Wednesday to tie that total.
And he had chances too in this game too. He missed the net. That first half should have ended with Canada up by a bunch.
Yeah.
Oh well, they still won. They just missed opportunities.
Yeah, they still won handily.
Oh.
So Tajon Buchanan doubled the lead in the 44th minute, leading into half, and Junior Hoylett and an own goal by the Jamaicans late in the second half sealed the victory for Canada. And with the victory over Jamaica, Canada finally, 37 years after qualifying in St. John's, Newfoundland with the win over Honduras, have qualified for their second ever World Cup appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Pretty awesome.
How many of us were born 37 years ago when that happened?
Not I.
Oh, Josh, you were.
Yeah, 100%. No, this is absolutely fucking. It's crazy. I was watching the latter half of the game. Missed the first goal, but I was flipping between that and the NCAA, but mostly watching soccer, and it was great. It was a cool feeling because, you know, most of the time when we're talking about sporting and team sports in Canada, it's hockey, and we're very good at hockey, and so it's not the same feeling as a team where you're, you know, we're getting very good, but we've been bad and mediocre for a very long time. And to be able to take that step and to now make it to the World Cup and be a soccer nation. We are a soccer nation now. It was very cool. You can see the emotion on all the players and coaches and fans in the stands. You can see the emotion on everybody's faces. You know, people were crying, and, you know, and we haven't, you know, the job isn't done, but we're going to the dance. We're at least getting there, and we're going to play with, you know, 31 other elite soccer nations, and that's pretty fucking
the best
awesome.
in the world.
The best in the world. So that's my get up today. I got my little my scarf. Now I'll be told this is a Hockey Canada scarf, but it's okay. I got my TFC jersey, vintage year 1 replica. How about that? That's the closest thing I got to a fucking to a national soccer jersey. And and I'm even repping a fucking Canadian beer, fucking old school Freezy Coolie.
Nice.
So
Your old man gave you that.
Yep. So I was loving it today. It's like I said, you can see the emotion on the players' faces and whatnot. And,
oh, it's huge.
Yeah,
just absolutely huge. It was awesome to watch too. And like you said, it's been a long time. We've been terrible for so long. So yeah, it's awesome, and it's awesome to finish at the top of the table. Like we're gonna be the best in North America.
Yep. So that said, we're going to the World Cup, boys. It's coming in this winter. Like you said, there's 31 other teams. How do you think Canada's going to do? What's your way too early projection?
26.
26. I don't know how we're gonna figure that one out.
I think better than that.
Ooh.
I think
hot take.
Well, 26 doesn't make it out of the groups.
No, I know, but still,
my hot
I
take,
still think that's a hot take.
I think they finished top half. I think they're better than 16.
Wow. So you think they? I think it's like the top 2 out of each group make it.
Yep.
Is typically how it works.
Yep.
That's quite the take there, Peter, because we have yet to get a point in the World Cup. So let's like that's what I'm hoping for. Is I just like a draw would be fine. I'd be happy with. Like
You gotta set the bar higher, Jesse.
I typically do. I'm usually stupidly overconfident, but the World Cup has a lot of good teams and as good, and North America doesn't usually show up. So it'll be awesome to see them even get past the first group stage.
Yeah.
See, I'm with Peter. I think the group stage they might not win because obviously we don't know the groups yet. So
True facts.
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they are top 2 in their group. They make the first round, and I believe that they will win the first game of the knockout round. Which
there's your hot take right there, Jesse.
Well, no, because that puts them that puts them in, I guess, in the top 8, I guess. So I just have a feeling that they're going to play hard. Hopefully Davies is good to go and he will be, I'm sure he'll be playing. And I just feel like the grit and determination of Canada in general, like, we always talk about that again in hockey. And I feel like that is just going to come through, especially with everything. We're gritty folks.
Are we going to be that Cinderella then? Could we be that Cinderella?
I mean, we could be, but I feel like we're gonna we're gonna make it through the first round of the knockout, and then we're gonna face like Brazil.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, and then I think we're gonna get beat. Yeah. So, but I think that they have a really good opportunity. I think that grit and determination. Look how they play. Like, I realize it's Costa Rica, and it's it's not a top end team, but they played fucking great with 10 men. Yeah. And they just had that determination. Yeah. The determination was there, and I just feel like that, and hopefully people can like fans can get there and support Canada, and that's going to be a big thing too, is support in the stand. That I feel like they thrive on that.
How loud BMO was today when they won. It's almost better that they actually kind of didn't.
They probably did it on purpose.
You trying to say they threw the game in Costa Rica?
I think Kay was.
Yeah. Kay's like, don't worry, boys. I'll take this one for the team. We'll get back on Sunday.
It was crazy there, man. Like, that is awesome. It was so loud for the whole game too. They were singing "Oh Canada" with still 10 minutes left in the game. It felt like.
For sure.
So close to my condo too. Burns me.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Burns me. Yeah. It's gonna be great to see. Can't wait for the winter. Summer will be fun too.
It's November, right? November for the World Cup.
Starts in November, yeah. And we'll see what happens. But I have high hopes.
I mean, I guess we had some World Cup parties, but back in the day when I lived in the old apartment building there, but this will be fucking different now.
This will definitely be different.
Yeah. We're not cheering for fucking Spain just because anymore. Now
yeah, or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Might have to go out and get myself a Davies jersey or something to that effect.
I was thinking the same.
I don't know. I like Losario because that's a good one for TFC games too, right? Because his hometown, he plays TFC. It's good times. Hometown boy. So
he's been on the Canada team for a while too, even when they're garbage.
I might still go Davies.
Oh, and if you guys remember when we had talked about Davies being out with his was it mitochondria? Is that?
Yep. He had a heart thing, yeah.
Right. And so I had mentioned, I'll rewind.
Not mitochondria. That's the powerhouse of the cell. But you're close.
Whatever. Anyway.
Myocarditis or something like
that. That's
something like that. I'm not a doctor, boys. So I had said, and you could rewind the tapes, but I had said you watch for Tajon Buchanan to come out and play a big role while Davies is out.
Yeah, he looks great, man.
He looks fucking really good. Scored a goal today, and he had ample opportunity. There was a flick that Laren could have flicked on. You got stopped by the defender, but if he would have flicked it on, Tayshaun was wide open.
It was David, I think.
Was it David that could have made the flick?
Yeah.
David had
on
a
the
few
3-on-1.
chances too.
Yes, it was like a 3-on-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also been a guy that's been like unbelievable too during
Yeah,
this run without Davies.
Well, yeah, and Laren's record of all-time goals for Canada, I'm pretty sure David is going to break that pretty soon.
He's
Years.
not far behind him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And his pace is a lot better.
mhm.
But maybe we're done with that. Maybe we're not. We'll see in the MVP. This week's MVP has qualified for the World Cup in Qatar
What?
for just the second time in this country's history, beating Jamaica. Wait a minute. Didn't we talk about this already? Yeah, we did. But it's
Yeah, we
worth talking
did.
Go backwards.
The Canadian men's national soccer team for qualifying for the World Cup. Second time in history. Not since 1986 have they made a World Cup. Love it. Canadian men's national team. You're our MVP. Cheers, each and every one of you boys, including Davies, who's at homesick. Or not,
Oh, yeah.
but hurt.
Cheers.
So, after the world's shortest MVP segment, Josh, why don't you let us know what's going on with the Raptors?
It was very short, but well deserved for Team Canada. And hey, maybe we need a short MVP to keep these shows shorter. 2-hour shows is now what we're aiming for. All right, guys, let's talk about the Raptors. We haven't talked about them in a few weeks. Last week, I believe we talked actually about the Raptors. It was episode 8. So that was about a month ago. So they played on Saturday night in Teal versus the Indiana Pacers. And this game had its fair share of moments. The game itself wasn't too exciting, as the Raptors led the Pacers by 28 after the first half. At one point, the Raps led by 42 and ended up winning the game by 40, 131-91.
Woo!
Yeah, you'd say, what the hell are you talking about this game form? It was a blowout. Why is there so many moments that you're talking about?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
Well, start with during a timeout just over 4 minutes ago in the first half, our boy PA announcer Herbie Kuhn announced that the arena was being evacuated by order of the fire chief. Now he was very good. He's like, now we're gonna ask you to orderly. There's no threat to public safety. We're gonna ask you to orderly leave the building. And so the reason being that they had to evacuate was because over the East End basket, a PA speaker had caught fire and was smoking away. Now I believe
the roof is on fire.
Well,
we don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
I'd really like to know what track was actually playing, because whatever it is, that track must be fire.
Yeah, 100%. Either the track or pretty sure that Precious was lighting it up at the time. So maybe Precious and Chew was lighting it up on fire. So there's videos out there. You can see that the inside of the speaker near the top of it was on fire. I did later see a photo or a video of a bunch of smoke. So there's quite a bit of smoke. Obviously it's well higher than the fans and the court. But they needed to make sure that the fire department needed to make sure this fire was actually out, and that what had already burnt didn't burn anything that was hanging, like using to hang the speaker, because if it fell, that would not be a good situation. So, when I thought about it, I'm like, instantly being a tradesman, I think about, well, why don't we just get rid of that section for 10 minutes, fucking climb up there, make sure everything's good, put it out, and let's get this game back going on and bring the people back in, right? Of course, that's not how it works when you have a fucking stadium full of 25,000 people. You got to boot everybody the fuck out so you can make sure. That's what they did. 70 minutes later, They came back and the Raptors ended up finishing the game versus the Pacers, albeit without fans. You got to think that they refund those tickets, because I would not be a happy camper paying those prices. The problem is, if you bought fucking aftermarket tickets, what do? You're fucked.
Yeah.
The guy that sold you the ticket ain't giving you a fucking refund.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. But albeit they did finish the game. Everybody was safe. There was no injuries, anything to that effect, and they got a W.
But then the coach at one point sitting there going, "Why is there anybody in that section?" I mean, he looked up and he's like, "This blank. I mean, what the fuck's going on?"
So the police, or sorry, the fire had already showed up. The fire department had already showed up, and they had started clearing out that section, and the game was still being played. And so obviously Cameron, everybody's focused on the game. And then during the timeout, that's when they realized, hey, that whole end of the fucking stadium is empty. What the fuck's going on? And then all of a sudden you saw more and more fire department firefighters standing on the court and around the court and whatnot. Which is probably a pretty cool thing for them. They, I mean, firefighters typically is just a regular dude, right? Like, or a regular woman, and for them to be able to be on the court at that point, and obviously there's not a game going on, but I'm sure it was kind of cool for them. And then some guys went up, and I saw them hanging from, I don't know, they didn't put a lift up there.
No, that's all
they would. Yeah, so they climbed up somehow to got all the way up there, and they had harnesses on, and they were putting the bad boy out. Kind of cool.
They thought they could handle it with just moving the section away, right? Like,
well, that's what I thought they could have done. That's what I'm saying. Just tell everybody else, stay in the seats. We'll get rid of that section, clear it out. Give me 20 minutes, I'll climb up there. But obviously it takes more than 20 minutes for a guy to climb up there and put it out. And 70 minutes later, they finished. So that's one thing. That was more exciting than the game was. But what made it even more exciting than that was Jack Armstrong. Now, we all know Jack Armstrong for his antics. He's a funny guy. He will say a lot of different things. He comes up with the bullshit. Get that garbage out of here. Stuff like that, right? Everybody loves fucking Jack Armstrong. He is my favorite fucking color commentary of all time. And so he had a bit of a slip up during this game. So he was during a long anecdote about Will Ferrell's Anchorman and Ron Burgundy. Like I said, he had a little boo-boo. He confused Ron Burgundy with a famously well-endowed porn star. And he's going on and on and on. And he says Ron Jeremy instead of Ron Burgundy. Now, just like Kev's laughing and about to lose his fucking shit, that's exactly what play-by-play announcer Matt Devlin did. Laughing, and now this man has got a funny laugh. Now, Jesse, I'm sure, have you ever heard your Uncle Dan's laugh when he's 3 sheets to the wind, we'll say? Your Uncle Dan's laugh is awesome. It's a high-pitched, like, kind of giggle type thing, and this is exactly what Matt Devlin did. I urge you to go and listen to this soundbite of what Jack said about Ron Jeremy and then Matt Devlin's giggle, and it's so fucking funny. So Devlin's busting a gut. He cannot catch his breath. He cannot call the game. Good thing the Raps were up 25 and it didn't make a difference. And so this is just absolutely hilarious. They finally calm down. They start calling more of the game and go to another timeout, commercial break, whatever. They flip to talking to Leo Routens and Kayla Gray, who are, again, commentators or whatever for TSN. And Kayla, you can tell that she's quite put off by this, and like she's not embarrassed or anything. She's just giggling that they were talking about a porn star here, right? So you can tell she's having a hard time, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but all of a sudden, like if you had your mind in the fucking gutter, you could take what she said, spin it a different way. So she got all up, like just all flustered. She put her notes in front of her face, like she goes, "Oh." And of course, they cut away from her, went to like a replay or whatever. But whatever was said, you could definitely tell that she knew who Ron Jeremy was, one way or another. Absolutely hilarious. The game it was great that they got the W, but totally secondary and triple dairy, if you will, compared to the other antics of this game. Absolutely loved it. Just had a great night watching this. I was a little concerned at first with the fire, but then you're like, well, that's fucking crazy, man. Like, has that ever happened? I'm sure there's something like that has happened before, but you just don't see it, right? So
Yeah.
it was pretty crazy. All right, so with that W, Raptors are 8-2 in their last 10. They got a record of 42-32 and currently sit in 6th place in the East. When I was checking the stats and then the leaderboard here, they were 1 game up on Cleveland, 3 games up on Brooklyn, and just 1 game back of the Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan's team, for 5th place. They have definitely bested my episode 8 prediction.
Mine.
No, not yours.
Dude, I even called, didn't I? Did I not call what you're about to say? Or we're about to ask? Sorry. Didn't I say they're going to be in 5th?
No, you said the fucking Brooklyn Nets were going to be in the 5th.
Maybe 5th.
I watched it today actually to make sure. 100%. You said the Brooklyn Nets. You said the Brooklyn Nets were going to be in 5th. That's funny. That's funny. So I said that they were going to win 10 more games, 10 or 12 more games or something like that, and that would put them at the 42-40, and they are currently 42-32. So in order for my prediction to come true, at least on the win percentage and the wins and losses, they would have to lose every game to the end of the season, which would not be good. That's not going to happen. They are at least going to finish 6th place, which, Jess, you said they were going to move up to 6th.
I said that they're going to move up to 6th, and I said that Cleveland was going to fall.
Yep.
Another thing that you also said.
I said Boston was going to be shit, and
he was going to. And I said I think they're fucking heading up the leaderboard.
Yep.
So
yep. Again, you were right there. I was wrong on that one.
Okay. Good.
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Hey, I watched it. I watched the video because I was like, I got to make sure here. Because I don't want to get challenged on something that somebody else said.
I just remember the Boston one was a shocker, but finishing 6th, I was like, yeah, it's definitely possible.
For sure.
I'm going to overachieve here, and they have. Kind of like what you guys are trying to do for Canada and the World Cup.
100%. Yep. Might be a little bit more attainable for the Raps, but we'll see. Team Canada's
No. I'm full on board with you and Pete.
All right. Yeah.
Get up there.
Top 16.
Get past that first group stage.
For sure. All right. So, like I said, 8 games left. Do you think now that they're going to move up to 5th place? They're only 1 game back of the Bulls. And it's possible. I've put up on our little cheat board here that the games that they have left, and I've highlighted the games that I think each team will win. So I've got the Raps, the Bulls, and the Cavs. And when I'm looking at this, I don't know if you guys have any, the bold means the wins for that team. So the Raps play the Celtics, the T-Wolves, Heat, Hawks, Sixers, and Rockets at home. And they play the Orlando Magic and the Knicks. And I'm not sure why I put the city instead of the team name there. Away. But anyway, I think they will win games against the Heat, Hawks, Rockets, Magic, and Knicks, which puts them 5 wins. I think the Bulls will end up with 5 wins, and they're already a game up. So for me, I think the Raps won't make that 5th spot. And I think the Cavs have got 3, maybe 4 W's. I feel like they might win against either the Hawks or the Mavericks here. So they play the Magic, Mavericks, Sixers, Bucks at home, and Hawks, Knicks, Magic, and Nets away. I just have a feeling that they might win one of those games, either the Hawks or the Mavericks. It's kind of iffy, but that still doesn't push them up into 7th or 5th or 6th. Yeah. So I'm thinking the Bulls still finish 5th. But the Raps have been playing fucking great as of late. And which obviously that's why they've moved up. And they, it's very possible to beat the Celtics, the T-Wolves, or the Sixers. And these are, every time they play a top end team, they play a top end game, and they play to the opponent's talent. So you never know. But I know I said 7th. I'm changing gears now. They're in 6th. I'm saying now they're in 6th. That's it. You're going to finish in 6th. So what do you guys think In terms of finishing here, where do you think? 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th?
Ooh.
I say they stay where they are.
Yeah,
think-
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I think they do get out for 5th and 6th with Bulls, and yeah, I'm gonna say 5th just to be different from these fuckers. But
Do we know who is the head-to-head with the Heat so far? Like, I know they just recently lost against the Heat. No, was it the Heat or was it the Bulls? I was getting those guys confused.
Bulls,
Was it
they
the
just
Bulls?
lost against.
They
yeah.
just lost. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
That I'm not sure on the Heat, but that
So you think that they're gonna beat the Heat? Eh? That's pretty interesting.
the Heat they've been not so hot.
They
you got
had a bit
them
of-
both
as
beating
of
the
late.
Heat.
They had teammates fighting one another for fuck's sakes.
Yeah,
Get over that shit,
the Bulls
man.
just beat them, which isn't the Bulls are a good team, so it's not a crazy surprise. The Raps beat the Heat, and I think the Heat they're on the downward trend right now compared to some of these other teams that are on the upward.
I think Butler just needs to chill the fuck out, bro.
Who needs to
chill the
chill
fuck
out?
Butler. Chill the fuck out.
Did you hear what Spoelstra said? So he was asked what the conversation between Butler and himself was, and he goes, "Oh, it was no big deal." He's like, "Everybody just wanted to know where we were going for dinner." And like Butler's losing his shit, like just yelling at Spoelstra's feeding it right back to him.
No, we're not going to fucking Applebee's.
It was
He
exactly.
We're
He
not-
wanted sushi. I
Sizzler.
wanted Italian.
Let's go to Sizzler, goddammit. Yeah, man. It was pretty funny. So everybody thinks 6, and Pete's trying to be different, even though he knows it's going to be 6. He's trying to say in 5th.
They're going 5th.
Hey, I'm
5th
all right
all
with
day.
5th. I'm okay with 5th.
It's definitely possible. It's not like it's unreal.
I mean, theoretically, they can still win the fucking conference. Theoretically.
No.
I mean, they're only like, what is it, 4.5 games back? There's 8 games left. It's possible.
It's unlikely.
The Sixers got to lose every game, and everybody above them got to lose every game, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's definitely unlikely, but it is possible. They could get up even to 4th or 5th. It is definitely possible, but
We're talking
unlikely.
about 5th.
I know. Well, okay, but they can get up even higher, but it's unlikely. So, all right. So we've had lots of talk about the players on the Raps and the young guys, the Scotty Barnes type thing. I want to know who you guys think the best Raptor has been this year. Like, who has come out and played most consistently and has shown up and put the team on their back type thing to push us through to where we are right now. I get that it's been a team thing. I 100% understand that.
Yeah.
But who do you guys think is the best Raptor right now?
Yeah. Like there's
right now, like
this
so
season.
not for the full season.
Sorry, no, for the season, the whole season.
season.
Who's been the best player this season?
Fred.
Like, there's a lot to choose from. Freddie VanVleet's a great choice. Gary
Yep.
Trent is a fucking
I
great.
think it's only
Barnes
two.
is a fucking superstar rookie.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Spicy P.
I
I
think
think
it's
he's
I think it's between Spicy P and Van Vliet. Those are those two that have been carrying it. Van Vliet is hurt right now.
Mhm.
Well, he's sore, but at the beginning of the season, Spicy P was hurt, and he's coming on fire. He's had a really good year, and right now he's probably the best Raptor. For the full season, you can flip a coin on either two, I think.
Yeah, no, Freddie VanVleet made the All-Star team. Pascal didn't, but Pascal was right there. He was on the cusp of the guys that get in because of injuries or whatever, right? And in my opinion, Spicy P should have been an All-Star, not necessarily over Freddie, but he, and I didn't go through the All-Star players, so I can't tell you who I would, bounce out of that, but to put Spicy in. But I just feel like he's had such a good season. He leads the Raptors in a bunch of stats on averages over per game type averages.
He's had a
And
bunch of 30-point games too.
I just feel like
And
he's been the best.
And he's been lights out at the 3-point line of late too. He just hit 6 of 7, most ever that he's ever done for 3-point. So good. He's been like lighting it up, and this is what we want to see going into the playoffs
for sure. And FAV obviously isn't a bad choice. All-Star and he's been great. He's a great 3-point shooter. Obviously, his knee has not helped him, and I'm hoping through these last 8 games we're going to get Gary Trent back in the next game or two, hopefully, and hopefully that will allow us to maybe put Freddie on the bench a little bit and rest up his knee a little bit more, because I would rather him sit on the bench for the last 8 so that he can play the next 3 or 5 games in the playoffs type thing, and hopefully more.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's hard to take him out, but it's also hard for him to not be in there and going like full blast the whole time. But he's been still getting a lot of minutes for how sore he is. So I think Nurse needs to. I like that Amari Brooks guy. Like I think they signed him for a 10-day, and now they signed him for another contract. I don't know how long it is, and he's been shockingly good. I've never heard of this guy before.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's good. That's another shout out to Masai, because he obviously has he's obviously done his homework on this guy, and he has come out and played well. But yeah, I like I said, I think Spicy is the man there. I did have on this on our cheat sheet. I was going to ask you guys about the Rookie of the Year again. Figured I would probably not ask about it since we did talk about it and who you guys think. But Scotty Barnes is not a bad choice, and he's had a hell of a year as a rookie for the Raptors. That we would not be where we are without Scotty Barnes. No question about it.
No chance.
No question about it. So this was a hell of a pick. I did not believe in Masai when he chose this guy. I thought, you are an idiot, Jalen Suggs. I don't even fucking hear about Jalen Suggs.
No, man, he's been not nearly as good as Barnes, obviously. But yeah. I also just saw, because we're talking about the Rookie of the Year kind of thing, I just saw another article that he is taking on way higher profile scores as defense, because like between them, obviously we always think Evan Mobley is the better defensive guy.
Yep.
But he's taken on the guys that can actually score more often than Mobley has. And he's been also rotating. Like he is one of the most flexible guys in our lineup, in the Raptors lineup. And he's with all the injuries that we've gotten with Spicy P, with OG and Van Fleet and Gary, like he's been moving all around, and he changes. He's so flexible, and he is closing in the distance between the race. Like I know we were all hyped up for him, minus Peter, but I still think that he can continue this streak and get closer, because he is a phenomenal talent. And as you said, Yosh, every one of us was wrong.
Yeah,
that Jalen Suggs, that we wanted him. We did not need him.
Scotty Barnes has been fucking great. He's been fucking great. There's not, I don't even know what else to say. Like he's been that good. He's been so solid. He plays more minutes than anybody else, typically every fucking game, or he's right up there with the bunch. And yeah, sure, he's young.
Probably,
he can do that.
He's probably he's not playing more than, like, for the Raptors, or are you saying for rookies?
No, like just for the Raptors. For the Raptors, he's playing.
He's still got Spicy P in front of him, and Van Fleet.
He's still Van Fleet's his minutes have been limited, but he plays like 38 minutes a game. That's a fucking lot of minutes, And obviously he's younger, so he can take that. But I just been loving watching Scotty Barnes, man. Just been loving it. Hell of a pick by Masai, because I had no fucking clue. No clue. And part of that could be national exposure. I don't even know where the fuck he went to school, Scotty Barnes, but do you guys remember Scotty Barnes in March Madness?
No.
I don't. But I remember Jalen Suggs. Now, maybe because he did the Dwayne Wade jump on the table fucking fist pump thing, right? But it was a good game. It was a hell of a fucking game. He played it, made a great shot, played a good game. So, but again, don't remember Scotty Barnes in March Madness or any time through college, which is wild. All right, guys. So just quickly, we were talking about the Raps before and where they're going to finish. Let's assume that they escape the play-in. Okay, they finish 6 or better. I want to know how far you guys think these cats are going. By
maybe
cats,
after
I
the
mean
first
dinosaurs.
Maybe after the first round. Nothing better.
You think they get through the first round?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I think they probably lose the first round, but I'm with Kev. The best place they can probably, I don't think they'll get through 2 rounds. I think they'll go out round 1, but if they do get through round 1, they won't get through round 2.
Okay, but so like Yosh has here, he's got the Celtics or the Bucks. Who would you rather play?
Celtics.
Celtics, yeah.
100%
Yeah, so
Celtics
if
too
the
with that.
game, if it finished today, if it was playoff started today, sorry, then yeah, the Raps would face either the Celtics or the Bucks because they're tied. But I believe the Celtics are actually in, was it 4th place, 3rd place, 3rd place?
No, I'm looking at it. They're in 2nd right now, so they must have the head-to-head with the Heat right now.
Okay, so they, like I said, so yeah,
So it'd be-
I did this all but before the end of today's game.
So it'd be the Heat. It could be the Heat, Celtics, or Bucks. Either way, I think our best bet is the Celtics right now. Even though they're fucking going crazy, I'd still prefer. I think we match up well
And
against
they're
them,
Boston.
and they're Boston.
They're Boston.
I
But I
don't
think
mind.
I think we match up well against Boston. But you already have us as the Heat winning or us beating the Heat later on this season. So
I think that they will. Yeah, if they have to play the Heat, I think they'll beat the Heat. If
You
they
think they beat them in a playoff series?
yeah, I do.
I don't
think-
see them going out of the first round. Tell you the truth.
I think the Heat they're a good team, but I think that they're a kind of a discombobulated team. They're just although they have some good connections, I just don't think that they're all 100% together. And I feel like they just have some faults, and
They have lots of playoff experience though too.
they do, but they are falling off at the wrong time. Right?
Yep. Yep.
So
But they still got lots of time to turn around.
for sure. So yeah, so I have the Raps beating the Celtics. As I said, that was prior to the end of any of today's games, but then losing out to the Bulls, who I am taking a hot take. If it was 4 or 5 Bucks Bulls, I'm thinking that DeMar DeRozan pulls one out of his ass and beats Giannis.
Nah, not a chance.
Wow.
Giannis is going to the NBA Finals.
I don't know, man. I do have the Nets getting in.
They're my
as
pick for the winner.
as-
So that's
We know.
Yeah. I have the Nets taking the 7 seed. So I think that they get into that 7-8 against the Cavs. I think the Nets are going to destroy the Cavs in that play-in game because it's a play-in game and it's KD and Kyrie. Like there's no chance they lose. And then I think that from there, like from what I've got, they would be facing the Heat. Again, that was prior to today's game. And I think, again, the Nets take that. I've got the Nets. Unfortunately, I have the Nets going to the fucking championship.
No, I get the Heat. Yes,
Come on.
the Heat's gonna win it.
You
guys are
said
all
that they
fucked.
were good, dude. Anything.
I know, but I'm looking at it after okay, they're finally
Oh
in
my
eighth.
goodness.
Hey, man,
The worst takes like a couple weeks ago.
My take is a take, but now that I see a little bit, I'm like, and Kyrie can play at home now. That's a huge thing.
I mean,
That's
if you
huge.
have every take, you're gonna be right eventually.
Exactly, right? Now I'm trying to get out of the negative here, boys.
The Nets are gonna suck. Well, the Nets are gonna win it all. Well, the Nets are gonna be good. See,
Hey.
I was right.
That was before, honestly.
That was-
Now that Kyrie can play at home, that's huge. It's huge. It is going to make them obviously that much better at home. And now all of the camaraderie and the chemistry is going to be that much better for the Nets. And I think that they're finally going to they can step it up here and do some damage. And that's the thing is when they get to the playoffs, they're a super dangerous team.
Yeah,
Super
and that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm sure like this will end because the speculation of it gonna end. And I was like, once they get in the playoffs, that's all they need.
Yep, for sure.
And like I said, they're gonna be running the same offense with everybody, whereas with when they had Harden, they had to fucking change everything. And like you said, like, yeah, Steve Nash was a bitch for saying like not stepping up, but he also hasn't proven anything as a coach either. So
Again, maybe he did step up, and that's why Harden went.
Yeah, it's possible for sure.
maybe he manipulated him like, you want to trade, you want to get out of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, who knows? knows? We'll see how it goes with the Raps and see how far they can get. Hopefully, they do well in these next 8 games heading into the playoffs, and hopefully they can get a playoff series win.
Yeah.
You guys just mentioned again going back to the James Harden trade and whatnot. This has nothing to do with James Harden, but there was a trade in the NHL that just kind of didn't work out right.
It didn't work out at all.
Can you enlighten us?
Yeah, I got a trade gone wrong on a Wednesday. I don't know what Wednesday or what date it was on that Wednesday. The NHL canceled the trade.
Last Wednesday, pretty sure.
Was it last
no?
Wednesday?
Was it no? It would have been the Wednesday before, would it not? Because wasn't
No,
the trade
that's-
deadline on Monday?
That's why I said on a Wednesday.
The trade deadline was Monday. They made the
Trade deadline was Monday for sure.
So it was this Wednesday.
They took 2 days and realized like this guy's.
I
gotta
don't
go
know
trade
if it
for him.
actually did.
Yeah.
I assume Kev copied that from somewhere. So
Yeah, so
I think you should fucking challenge him, bro. Did it happen Wednesday?
On a Wednesday, the NHL canceled a trade between the Vegas Golden Knights and the
Who?
Anaheim Ducks.
Who?
The Knights and the Ducks.
Who?
Man. Knights.
Oh,
Duh.
sorry, not the Owls. My bad.
Oh, ooh, yeah. Just before the deadline, Vegas sent Dadonov, a right winger, to the Anaheim with a conditional second-round pick for John Moore, which is a defenseman, and a contract for Ryan Kessler, which has not played since 2019. Ducks would select whether to receive Vegas' second-round pick in either the 2023 or the 2024 draft. With this trade, they would have freed up at least $3.75 million for their cap for Vegas. Just after the trade, Vegas became aware of an issue of the trade that there was just talking about with the league with the league office. Talk about Dadonov's no trade clause that has signed in the October of 2020 with the Senators. The Senators also failed to disclose the clause for Dadonov's, which trade to the Golden Knights in July 2021. So both Vegas and the NHL believe that they could trade to the Ducks, but Dadonov had the Ducks on his 10-team no trade list. So all in all, the trade did not go through, and back to the Knights he went. Now on Saturday's game against the Chicago Blackhawks, Dadonov scored the overtime winner as a 5-4 win. So with this crapola that just happened here, boys, what are your thoughts on this?
So this is very bad for Vegas because they're pulling a Tampa Bay Kucherov right now. So they have a bunch of guys that are on LTIR that are going to come back to the playoffs. But the problem they have is they're not in a playoff spot right now.
Well, they're creeping in. I mean, they need the win, and
No,
they
they're creeping out.
Hey Peter, who was the one that took the Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
If they actually make the playoffs, which is in doubt, they might actually make some noise because they can bring their whole roster back and be well over the cap. But right now, they really needed to unload Dadonov's salary at the deadline to be able to bring back some of their key players that are getting healthy to be able to make a push for the playoffs. And that did not work out because apparently Ottawa never told them that there was a no trade clause when they traded Dadonov to Vegas. So Vegas, without doing their homework, had no idea that he did not wasn't going to be traded to Anaheim.
He had him on his no trade. I don't want to play for Anaheim, but here we're
That's
going to
right.
trade you in Anaheim. Okay.
So he heard he was traded to Anaheim, and he said, "No, I'm not. I'm not going there. I have a no trade list."
I mean, like at the same time, like even if the Senators didn't explain this to them, that's not their problem.
It's not.
Like, look at the fine print. Like, who's the Vegas lawyers are looking at that?
There are definitely going to be a few people fired for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because there has got to be some intern that reads fucking contracts and makes sure there's no stupid shit in them or whatever. Somebody had to have read that contract before they made the trade and did not peruse it good enough to see that there was a whole subsection said trade clause.
But it's not even that hard. NHL contracts are standard. They're all the same. The only differences are no move clause, no trade clause.
Yeah, and a name and a number.
That's right.
So it's wild that this got through even from the Senators to the Knights. Like somebody should have at least saw and said, hey, great, we're not on his no trade. We're good. So no, it's not on the Senators, but it's like, it's the Knights. This is the Knights. Like they are, how do you fuck this one up? Like,
when he scored that overtime goal, the reporter asked him straight up, now, how do you feel about being here? Like you're not supposed to be here, but you're here and you scored the overtime winning goal.
He's like, I'm getting game film.
I mean,
it's crazy.
What did he say?
He's just like, I've never asked to leave. I mean, I've always wanted to be here, but what do you want me to do? I mean, they're no part of my trade. I mean, here I am.
He has turn too. Like he's there next year.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely got to be some Golden Knights personnel type people here. Office type people. It's going to be an intern 100% that fucked this one up, that missed that. But there's so many eyes that go over these things. I just don't understand how this was missed. There's just no way that this gets missed. Like,
I'm just confused about one of this list that he said that he does only traded to. Did they just see this list and said, nah, fuck it, whatever, like just threw it away kind of thing?
Apparently they never saw the list.
They never saw it. Never saw this 10-player list.
But it would still, like you said, Pete, there was still going to be, no matter if the
someone must have
within the contract, it says there is a 10-team no trade clause part of this contract. There's going to be a blurb in the fucking contract.
For sure.
And so somebody missed that. And it doesn't matter who the teams were at that point, but you got to be like, oh, he has a 10 team no trade. Who are these 10 teams? And that's where the Vegas has got to look at that, or even the Ducks have to say, well, this guy actually has a 10-team no trade. Are we on it? No. Hey, if they want to try and sneak one under the table, they were obviously interested in getting Dodonov, but
they retired. There's a GIF upon retiring his number in Anaheim already, with in regards to 63.
Because it's so goofy.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly like not a superstar. That's fucked up, man. Fucked up. I just don't see how it gets through, how the paperwork gets through so many people. That's what I don't understand. And for sure, there's somebody in the NHL getting paid $100,000, $150,000 a year
more
to read contracts, and it doesn't get through. Like, there's just no way it gets through, or shouldn't get through.
I'm pretty sure it did. Like, I'm pretty sure it went through. Like the NHL.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I'm saying it shouldn't have, because of so many people.
Said, yeah, no problem.
Good. No problem. We're good. Everything's fine.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying. So a guy makes $150,000, $200,000, and he lets that fucking slide through. Like, nope, you're fired, bro.
Yeah,
I'll take that job.
You have one job.
Yeah, read the fucking
print.
contract.
Yeah.
And you have to think in that contract too. There's a big trade clause, like
there's a big heading.
I'm pretty sure it's an addendum attached to the back.
It might be an addendum. 100%. You're right. You're right. Hell, they might even say, "Did you see addendum number 1?" And if so, attach it to the front.
Again, the contracts are all standard, just different name and number. So skip through all those fucking 10 pages of contract. They're all the same.
Yeah.
Go to the back where it's different.
Yeah, man, just crazy stuff here.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's crazy about it is him scoring the OT winner when he was told he's supposed to be traded.
He's not a bad player.
No, he's not.
But
definitely not.
There's a good chance that they miss the playoffs because they fucked this up. And
come on, man, you're gonna take on Kessler's fucking, like, he had a guy. This guy hasn't played since 2019.
Oh yeah, they're just buying LTIR money.
Yeah.
Kev, do you know who Bobby Bonilla is?
Who?
Bobby Bonilla. He's a baseball player.
He was a baseball player.
Was a baseball player. Is it San Diego? Is it the Padres? There is a team. I can't remember exactly who the fucking team is, but there is a team that is still paying this man for a contract, and he hasn't played in 15 years, 10, 15 years. It's just the way the contract went. Like, that's what, like, I understand what you're saying. This guy hasn't played in 2 years. How the fuck are you still paying for his contract? But there are baseball teams paying for guys that haven't played since the fucking 90s.
Wow.
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
The funny sidebar on this deal falling apart actually cost Ryan Kessler a good chunk of money, because in Anaheim, in California, the taxes are so high, and in Vegas, they're so low. And if he was a player, if he was a Golden Knights player, he would be taxed in accordance with that state taxes. So it actually cost him like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
No, isn't he like, concussed? Like, it's not what the whole thing with this guy is. Kessler's is concussed.
I don't know. He's on LTI. He's just done. He's on Robidas Island.
I was fucking trying to fish.
Sorry?
I was trying to get some kind of.
Oh, you were fishing.
Yeah,
fishing.
I thought you said he was out there fishing. No. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm fishing
for a challenge.
I knew exactly what Kev was trying to do there, but I had no idea.
We're definitely on the road to -1 again, boys.
Yeah,
this is not a good thing here.
It's not. So, this is all ended, and we haven't got any challenges.
Quick,
maybe.
Quick, say something stupid.
I'm fucked up. That's
challenge.
Not stupid.
No,
accurate. That's Oh yeah, you challenge Pete -1.
Well, hopefully, I'm definitely fucked up. Well, I don't know who's going to the penalty box here, but boys, but someone's got to take it over. I think that's you, Yosh.
All right, I'll take this week's penalty box. This week's penalty box indirectly has to do, or I guess it's semi-directly, with figure skating. Simon Reed, a figure skating broadcaster, has been fired by the ISU, the International Skating Union, as he directed obscene comments towards a Canadian figure skater, Megan Duhamel. So earlier this week, during the Paris broadcast of the World 2022 World Figure Skating Championships, Reed was caught on video making remarks on the ISU web feed talking about Duhamel. Duhamel wasn't competing, but had previously called out Reed and his partner, Nikki Slater, broadcast partner, that is Nikki Slater, for their poor figure skating knowledge, and also called them out, chirping them a bit for saying that it was sad that Russian athletes weren't competing at the event due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It doesn't matter what side you on the fence you stand on this. So Reed, well, not knowing he was on the air, it's another hot mic situation, said, "Don't worry about her. We didn't mention her by name," as they were chirping her a little bit. And then he goes on to say, that bitch from Canada, with obviously with Reed and his partner there, Slater, kind of laughing it off that they had called her a bitch and whatnot. Obviously, this is not a good thing. Your opinions are your opinions, but when you got a hot mic, you can't be chirping anybody, and you can't be calling her a bitch. That's for sure. So obviously, the ISU immediately, they took direct and quick action against Simon Reed, fired him on the spot pretty much. As soon as they found this out or heard this, I'm sure it was probably after that broadcast, but whatever, got rid of him. The ISU has obviously since apologized to Duhamel and to fans and so on and so forth. And I don't think there's any real hard feelings from Duhamel. She is a Canadian. She's gonna let that shit slide off her back. But interesting that they said that bitch from Canada. So Simon Reed for not knowing that you got a hot mic. I don't know.
Connected.
Yeah, man, pretty crazy stuff. Like, I mean, your opinion is your opinion, and you can talk to your partner there, Nikki Slater, or to whoever, when you're like, you're just wait until you're not working, you idiot.
You
And
dumb
say
fuck.
whatever you want, right? Like if it gets caught by a YouTube video, somebody, a paparazzi or whatever, it gets caught. But like you are knowingly on a microphone. Give your fucking head a shake. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's one too many, I think, at that point. Like, how do you not know that you're
on
the
mic,
air?
man? You're on live. Like, you dumb fuck. You dumb fuck.
Yeah, like I'm sure he thought that they were on a commercial or whatever, but you still just have a little bit of tact and save your fucking chirping for when you're off the mic. Like,
You know, all
Just
they
in
have to say
case.
is that dumb Canadian. You have to go, bitch. I mean, that dumb Canadian.
well,
I mean,
that's the other
doesn't-
thing too. Yeah, you could. I mean, either way, it still wouldn't have been good for Mr. Simon Reed here. Calling her dumb or whatever, or it doesn't matter what he had said. It still would not have been good, and maybe dumb wouldn't have gotten him fired, but.
We got an apology for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, what did Duhamel actually say about them? Minus the fact that they just call him out for
It was
talking about the Russian
something about
leaders.
they don't know what they're talking about. They
Right.
don't even know what a
So there was
triple jump or some
it was
shit
the
is.
rotation. So
Yeah.
they were, I think, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, and maybe I'm the person, the poor figure skating knowledge that she's
We don't have too many listeners, right?
Yeah. But like, so they would say, oh, it was a triple sow cow, but really it was only a double sow cow, that type of thing. So the Reed and his partner couldn't tell basically the amount of rotations that were in some of these jumps, and they didn't necessarily know what a particular move was called, much like the four of us.
So it's probably a good thing for the ISU then, because now they can replace
With somebody that actually
actually knows what he's talking
Knows what the
about.
fuck he's talking
Fair
about.
enough. Fair enough. Yeah, for sure.
But they probably cost more, so it's not a good thing.
Oh hell, get my cousin. She went to
I
college.
mean,
for it.
like, this isn't a good thing for them either.
No.
So anyone
I
better?
mean, they say any press is good press. So.
This is true. Hey, I mean, when was the last time we talked about figure skating? Just saying. Just saying.
It'll be definitely a hot search for the next commentator here for the
For sure,
ISU.
Hope you got your LinkedIn fucking account set up, or your resume good to go. All right, guys. Pete, before I ask you about our fucking our points penalty scores today,
Yeah.
because they weren't great
Ooh.
again.
Because the last time you didn't
They
even
weren't
fucking
great.
finish it, but whatever.
They weren't
Never.
great, but
No.
I want to talk about March Madness. We've seen some great games. We've seen some upsets. We've had a bit of a Cinderella story who got dominated today in St. Peter's. Been a lot of great games. Cav, you and I were talking, and we had seen some good games, but at the same time, we saw a lot of shitty college basketball. And some of I'm not saying that the games were necessarily all shitty, but there's a lot of shit where Kevin and I are like, just drive the fucking lane, dude. Like, you've got the ball, you're ready to drive, and you peel back and you play on the outside. And
Yeah.
I realize that when you have more shot clock time, that becomes what the game is. And they're not superstars. I get that, or not all of them.
But they're in the paint.
Kevin and I were
Oh.
definitely screaming at the TV the
Oh.
one night, because we're like, what are you doing? You have had a clear lane. And if you don't, that guy gonna foul you. Take
Yeah.
the 2 free shots. And they
Right.
would peel it off to the outside. And so there's lots
The
of
thing
times.
is with the free shots is there's a lot of people missing those too.
Right. I mean,
Oh,
you don't get a
buddy.
lot of, you get guys that are like 28% from the line. That ain't good. So I
Oof.
take him at 35%, peeling it back on a pass or what have you. So yes, it's college ball when I understand that, but there have been some great games, but some bad games, great games, bad games, which is normal with every March Madness tournament. We saw Kentucky lose out real early, which
Fuckers.
busted billions of brackets across. Just how, then Gonzaga lost pretty early. That bust some brackets. That one bust a bunch of brackets. Anyway, overall, great tournament. There's been some really tough games. The Elite 8 games were all pretty fucking good. There was a few runaways with Duke, and today UNC was pretty good, and so was Kansas. Obviously, just seeing some of the disparity between some of the bigger schools and what they can attract in terms of players.
One thing I'm happy about is that Peter's in last this year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Hell
Love
yeah.
you too, Kev.
Thanks, bro.
So of course we do our March Madness brackets, and we all pick the whole thing right before the first tip off.
Mine was not good.
I'm not last this year.
It was
That's what
solid.
I'm not last.
Even the
this
revision
year.
was just
The
solid.
revision,
Peter.
yeah. All right. So if you have checked us out on Instagram, you would have seen our brackets, and you would have seen Pete's revision number 1, because I didn't post revision 0 because Pete's an idiot.
Yeah.
And he put Ohio State playing with in a game against Tennessee and Longwood or something to that effect.
They weren't playing each other either way.
Right.
Yes. You know what
So-
fucked me up is that it said
You were drunk?
well, probably drunk and sleep deprived, but it's that they put the court it was at or the city it was in
City, yeah.
on the thing, and it fucked me up. I thought it was anyway. I got
Yeah.
fucked up. I
It's
was
an
dumb.
excuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You're
were
a good
one.
super.
Anyway, that didn't lose you the whole thing. Definitely.
No, because I got my revision in time.
Yeah, you did.
But
Yeah.
it still sucked. It still sucked.
Your Ohio State was funny.
It's pronounced
Oh,
Ohio
those don't-
shit, Kev.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
No,
Come on,
it's state. It's state.
Oh, shit.
My significant other thought it was street.
Street.
Ohio Street.
Ohio Street.
Everything was ST. was
South
street.
Dakota Street. All right. So, like I said, check it out on Instagram. You're gonna see our all of our brackets, and you're gonna pretty much peruse right by Pete's. His
Yeah.
was the
Peace, bye-bye.
his
Peace,
was the
bye-bye.
bottom. So Pete scored 33 points this year.
Which I think, if we go back to last year, I think that was a decent score last year.
It was, yeah. I'll
Decent's
recap.
not good enough.
All right,
bro.
let's recap last year's scores. Just
Yes, let's
before.
recap it.
And then,
I like the
yes.
recap.
All right.
Yes. Let's
All right.
recap this
So
mofo.
last year, Jesse won with 36 points. 36 correct.
Just
winners.
domination.
Yeah. Peter finished second with 33.
Ah, see,
You're
back to back
consistent.
30
You're
seconds.
consistently bad.
There you go. I finished with 30,
And this guy was last.
and Kevin, you finished with 29.
Yeah.
Now this year, Pete, you have 33 correct, and you have 0 chance in the final
Yeah.
four.
0.
I'm consistent. It was good for second last year. I thought I was in decent
Like I
shape.
said,
Hey, the rest of us got better, bud.
It's not even 0, Kev. It's fucking -1.
It is a -1.
Wait, is
Oh
that
yeah,
only
he
a
gets the
minus?
-1 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so moving up from that, Kevin currently has 34 points. and
Most
he has-
improved.
Most improved. And he has one team
comeback
left.
player.
Fuck you, Jesse.
He has one team left, which is Villanova, and they face Kansas. Kansas is who Jesse has to win.
Dominate.
Jesse is also in tied with Kevin with 34 points for second place,
Fucking right.
but Jesse has Kansas to win the Final Four game and to win the championship.
You?
So Jesse stands to lose this, really. Like it's yours to lose, Jess,
Or to win it all.
or to win it. Yeah.
Or to win it.
And then myself, I have 35 correct, and I have 0 left. I am done. In order, basically, our scenarios here on who's going to get the 2 points. We have if Nova, which is Kev's team, beats Kansas, Jesse's team, in the Final Four, Kev and I will finish for first place.
Yeah.
If Kansas beats Nova, then Jesse and I will tie for first place. But Jesse also has the opportunity, if Kansas wins the whole thing, then he would win the whole bracket.
I got to
So-
keep that streak up of calling every team to win
There you go.
since the MLB.
So if Kansas were to win both games, Jesse wins the whole thing. I would finish second. Kev would finish third.
And I'll get 0. I'll get a 0.
Boys, I made a lot of money over these brackets. I'm not gonna lie.
You're
Wait,
lying.
by
boy.
money, do you mean points and penalties points or
no,
actual
no,
money?
I'm actually mean some cash.
What a good boy.
So there is 1, 2, and 3 is still up for grabs. I can only tie for first. There's no way that I can win first by my own because both of you guys have, one of you has Villanova, one of you have Kansas in the same side. So one of you is going to get another point no matter what, which will tie me. So no matter what, I will. I cannot win on my lonesome, but I can also not get a -1.
No, like you.
And that's the most important.
Like you, Pedro.
Yeah. It was good for second place last year. God damn it!
Hey, we got better.
You all improved.
If you're not second, you're last.
Consistent.
Now, the one thing that we did forget to do.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's right.
That is
true.
Now, Pedro,
challenge.
Pedro, finish this segment out correctly, sir. Because last week you did not do it at all.
Why not? What did I do last week?
Because you didn't do it.
I think he's referring to the overall season scores. So give us our weekly scores and then actually give us season scores.
What the fuck happened?
Did I just not?
No,
yeah, we might have been drunk.
And nobody said shit.
It was embarrassing. Like, this is the second week in a row that we went -1.
This is horrible. Yeah.
This is awful.
Yeah. We got to step up our game for you, the people.
The people,
because we're not good enough here. We had one challenge today, but it ended up in a draw that didn't count.
I mean, in actuality, you should have lost, and maybe we can get a 3-1 vote on giving Pete a minus, but I don't know.
Fuck you.
Hell.
I mean, I was right. They didn't make it yet.
Just you didn't say yet.
Yeah.
Right. I said they didn't make it.
Yeah. You guys agreed quickly that it was going to be, if it's not going to be.
I was concerned about losing a minus, Jess. Okay. Come on.
That's why I was pushing it. I was like, I don't give a shit. I want to see some negatives.
Jazzy, if you want to be more involved, maybe you should challenge.
I should have been more confident just based on the potential +2 that I'm going to get from the March Madness tournament.
Yeah, but you need all 2 of those points and more. So don't get too confident now.
Hey, if it wasn't for today's no challenge, and if I would have got +2, then I'd only be at -1, which really isn't that horrible considering you're at fucking 0, bro.
Woo.
I'm the only positive left.
But if we had a challenge, I would have been at +1.
No,
you would have lost.
You would have lost. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So you still would be at 0. I wouldn't have got my minus. Again.
Anyway,
second week in a row, I fucked up.
We're done talking about shit that didn't happen.
I know
what did happen.
We need you to step up here. You're missing spots constantly.
You were pretty quiet today too, bro.
Yeah, whatever, Jesse.
Yeah,
I'm the champ. I don't need to worry about it.
You don't. Yeah, because you're the champion, no longer challenge.
No, that's what happens when you get up here, man. You just look down below, and you just be like, "Come get me."
How you guys doing?
So, with a -1 across the board for the week,
fuck, we suck.
That brings our season totals. Jesse is barely positive at +2,
but positive.
Peter is neither positive nor negative at 0. Josh is down at -4.
It's unfortunate, really. I should be higher than that.
Should be. You got to step up your game.
Yeah.
And Kev is bringing up the basement. Nothing new here, folks. With -8.
Hey, did you guys notice that Kev has his fucking home jersey, or sorry, the away jersey on now?
The away Ray Rice jersey.
Ray Rice jersey, yeah. Fuck.
Nice. And a ball cap change. I like the look, Kev. I like it.
But we always get a change from Kev.
Yeah.
Fuck, Jess, I can't believe that you got a 10-point advantage on Kev already. Like, there's 10 points between 1 and fucking 4.
We've done like 3 shows. What the fuck happened?
That's because I do stupid shit prior to this podcast.
I know, and I was on the receiving end of getting pluses.
Jesse took full advantage.
Fuck you, Jesse.
Just once.
Just one, yeah.
Josh took one too.
Yeah,
Josh got a better one, actually. To tell you the truth.
Kev,
wait till the golf.
We got to chat more, Kev.
Wait till the golf start, boys. I'm going to do my first virtual tomorrow.
The season's coming. The season is.
We should do a virtual. soon.
I think that we can just go out. Like, I'm pretty sure courses are going to open up soon. So why do indoor when you can do the real thing?
Well,
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to get you boys back this year.
Just calm
Fuck
down,
you all.
Kev.
I'm
Well,
going
there's
to
still snow out
fuck you
here,
all
so
up this year.
Hey,
I don't
Kev.
think it's starting.
We're not
gonna-
playing in Stratford,
You
bro.
can actually play, Kev, or is your
Yeah.
knee gonna hurt
Nope.
too much?
No, I'm good. I'm good this year.
Oh, Pete,
I'm
cutting
gonna
him
fuck you
fucking
all up.
deep, man.
I'm going to fuck you
He's
all
an
up
old
this year.
man. He's injured sometimes. Shit.
Pete's
Yeah, man.
losing the NCAA bracket with his revision, so
yeah,
he's
with a
got to
zero.
take any shot
I
he
know.
can take.
You have
Hey,
nothing
hey,
left.
he'd be
You
even
have
worse
nothing
if he
left.
didn't have a revision. So.
You have a minus already.
No,
Pedro.
no, I
You
wouldn't.
have a
I'd be
minus already.
Exact same place.
Oh, you'd be the same? Still at 33?
Yeah. No,
Still in the
but I'd still
basement?
be in last.
Still in the basement.
Still
Oh.
dead last. Ah, boys, it's been a good show. Why don't we talk about how our drinks were?
Yeah, who was the bitch? You should start up.
Yeah, there. Fucking Peter. Give her away there, Pedro. Bitch.
So my La True du Diable, les quatre surfeurs de l'Apocalypse.
Pardon
Tabernacle.
Pardon-moi.
Ah,
Blah, blah.
Oh,
Tabernacle.
fuck.
The Four Surfers of the Apocalypse by the Devil's Hole Brewing in somewhere in Quebec. I don't know where. It was pretty good. Nice strong beer. Not
No,
strong
it
enough
wasn't.
to get out of the bitch fucking hole, but
Bitch beer.
Bitch
strong
beer.
to like the common folk.
Okay.
We aren't common.
Far from it. But yeah, 6.5%. It was it's a good tasty beer. I wouldn't have it again, but I probably won't because I don't know if you can get this in Ontario, and I'll be there soon.
Oh, yeah. At
Yeah.
least that's one good thing about you today.
Why are you throwing this to me, man? You should be throwing this to fucking Jesse. He had the other
Yes.
bitch beer.
I
Oh,
want to
shit.
know.
There's
I want to
only-
know.
There's only one bitch beer.
I want to know how.
As
your
Peter
dinner
said,
bag was.
if you aren't first, you're last there, Kev.
That's right. So Kev, you're just as bitchy as I was.
Oh, shit.
Gee,
Finish the
darn.
40.
Damn right, I finished that 40. Yeah, you think I'm a rook? Yeah, imported 40
No,
US.
nobody
ounces,
ever said that.
1.18 liter Old English brand 800 malt liquor at an 8%. Goundy. I got to piss like a racehorse, though, boys.
Yeah, that boy.
Attaboy. So we'll go down to the second bitch there, Jess. How was your beverage?
There's only one bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you're bitch adjacent. You're right there.
Jeez.
But you are the bitch.
Yeah, but if you're not first, you're last.
No.
Really, we
No.
all are.
It's just Peter down there.
No, we're
Just like the
all-
NCAA tournament.
We're all here together.
Just in the basement. Fire lonesome. Anyways, like I said, I went for the local with a job site here in Stratford, down the road by me. Indian Pale Ale. It's called the Impact, and it's got a drill in the middle of the P.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure it's a drill or is it an impact? Because my bet is that it's a fucking impact wrench.
I mean,
Challenge, it's a
Challenge.
drill.
More sense.
Challenge. It's
Challenge,
an
it's a
impact.
drill. Challenge, it's a drill.
It's after hours, boys. and like, there's no way of saying.
I will fucking email those motherfuckers.
Impact drill. Impact was fucking the same thing. It's still a drill.
We're
An
reaching.
impact
here.
driver, okay? It's
We're
not
reaching.
a drill, it's a driver. It's different.
We're reaching.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, sure. It's like I said, it's not the bitch beer, 6.9. And it was good. And I got another job site. I got another one there. So
You
I'm gonna
only
have-
drank the two small boys?
No, man, there's 3 right here, boy.
3 empties? All right. Because you said you had 3 and then you said you had an extra. I'm like, well, that sounds like you only
I've
drank
got it for
2.
next week. I have job site as well.
Oh.
Pay attention. Come on.
You're
what are
you're
you-
going back to
Peter?
back in the same week? Same beers? Oh,
No,
job
does
site's the
that?
brewery.
Job site.
site's the
Jesus
brewery. Yeah,
Christ.
whatever, Peter. My bad. Job site's the brewery, not the
Oh.
Impact was the beer. Job site's the brewery. My bad. My
Oh my
bad.
god. All
Sorry,
right.
man. It's
So,
my championship beers that fucked me up there.
It should have fucked you up more, so we could have gotten some better challenges.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, 11.6%. It took the cake today. And I mean, I feel like I'm a fucking space age bunny with lightning bolts coming out of my eyes right now. Good times. This is a really good beer. It says it's an orange creamsicle. Was definitely one of those citrusy sour type beers. Really liked it. Enjoyed it. Quadruple IPA took the fucking championship today. No big dirt. What do you guys think about that? Are you excited that I took the W today or what?
I mean, how many of them did you have?
I mean, I had 2 of these 11.6ers.
And then a warm up waiting for
There
Jesse.
was a couple backups.
Okay,
Waiting for
just checking.
Jesse.
Just checking. Sometimes, not sometimes, often, you just have the one beer.
Oh.
You know, if you had like a 5%er and an 11.8,
This is coming from the bitch beard, yo.
you might end up
Wow.
somewhere.
You can also just
between-
not
All
respond
right.
too.
First off, let me say that if I only have one beer, usually my lovely fiance buys it for me, and she only buys me one. Currently, I have a 4.5% beer that she bought me in the fucking fridge, and I'm like, I can't drink that shit on the show. What do you want me to be, the bitch?
You know what they would say about me?
Exactly. And not only that, you know, I'll deal with you guys, sure, Mitch, but if you only brought one, I'm like, you have to give me 2. You can't give me one at 4.5. Fuck, you should get me 4 of those so I can keep up
Can you
to
imagine
somebody.
if I went through 2 of those?
You should have went through 2, man. You're a fucking professional. What do you think this is? Practice?
It's just warm up.
This is a game.
This is the game.
This is
Not
the
practice. Yeah.
It's the game, man. If you, I'm, you know what? I'm a little disappointed that you only drank 140.
Ooh, ooh.
Did you have any backup beers with you?
Yeah, man, right here, waiting for fucking Jesse to get on. This is
Alright.
like a micro brew.
That looks even more ghetto than the fucking 40.
That's friggin' that's just ginger ale.
Hang on, is that ginger ale? Yeah, like Pierce said.
Podcast listeners, he's got like a U-Brew can or U-Brew bottle that looks more ghetto than a 40 fucking ouncer of.
It's a
of
ginger
Old
ale
Ale.
bottle.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Are you guys done? I think I'm
I'm
done.
done.
All right.
I was done a while ago.
I was done a while ago.
So for the 4 of us here, Points and Penalties, we would like to thank you all for listening. Please subscribe on YouTube, bottom right hand corner, PNP button. You got it. I know you can. Subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You got to hit us up at Points Penalties. And until next week, stay out of the penalty box.